It's the Happy Families podcast. It's the podcast for the time-poor parent who just wants answers now.
All this week on the Happy Families podcast, I'm doing my best to have a no devices, no work holiday break with my family. As a result, we've brought in a special guest. Beck Delahoy is a former researcher. She now writes about parenting rather than her niche field of neuropsychiatry. She's a homeschool mum, raising her 3 kids in Melbourne with a husband of 7 years. And you can find out more about Beck with her Substack, beckdelahoy.substack.com. We'll link to that in the show notes.
Hello everyone, I am Beck Delahoy. I have been working with Justin behind the scenes for about a year now, and he very kindly offered me a chance to talk on the podcast. So here I am today. Just a few things you need to know about me. I have 3 kids who I raise in Melbourne with my husband of 7 years. I am a recovering perfectionist. I was a bit of a high achiever at school, and while having kids has forced me to let go a lot, I still like to do things well. And the second thing you need to know is that I consider myself a fun mum. During the long COVID lockdowns, and believe me in Melbourne, they were long, I set up an activity jar so that every day we could pull out an activity and have something fun to look forward to. And ever since, the tradition has just kind of continued. Through our activity jar, I've taken the kids to the farm, to the beach and to the museum. We've gone dandelion picking and taken our bikes to the BMX track. We've even gone puddle jumping. That's why I have glow-in-the-dark gumboots. But sometimes I can get so caught up in planning the fun that I miss out on the fun that's already there. A few weeks ago, we were having a relaxed day. We didn't have anything planned, so once I'd gotten through the housework, I started checking in with the kids every half hour or so, asking if they were ready to do an activity from the jar. Surprisingly, they kept saying no. They were busy building a cubby, then playing with cars, and then throwing a burrito around. A toy burrito. I'm a fun mum, but I have limits. We don't do food fights. Anyway, so I pulled out my laptop, got through some work, and I just let them be. Come late afternoon, and I'm starting to get bored. I've gotten through my work. The house is decently clean, considering I've got 3 kids who often make mess quicker than I can tidy it. But we've been home all day and we haven't done anything fun yet. We haven't chosen an activity to do, and if we don't start soon, we'll run out of time before I have to start on dinner. I'm just about to really push my kids to stop playing so we can pick an activity when I realize how ridiculous what I'm saying in my head is. They were already having fun. I was just too busy planning my fun to notice their fun. So I put the activity jar back on the bench where it belongs. I stepped outside and I watched them. They mixed together a bucket of mud. Then they took off all their clothes and coated their whole bodies in mud, telling me that that's just what you do when you live outside. Apparently they live outside now. Anyway, so I quickly ducked back inside, pulled out towels and set everything up inside for a clean transition to the bath. And then I joined in. I got my hands muddy. Just my hands. We have neighbours who do not need to see me covering myself in mud. Then I hosed them down with a sprinkler. I threw mud back at them when they splashed it onto me. We laughed, we enjoyed the moment, and we all went inside together at the end to get cleaned off. Having fun with your kids doesn't need to be Pinterest perfect or Insta-worthy. It doesn't need to be pre-planned or pre-booked. When we set aside our plans, we can join them in their spontaneity. Their fun can be your fun too. Give it a go. Watch your kids for 10 minutes. See what they're up to. Join in. And I hope you have so much fun. And if you've enjoyed today's podcast and want to hear more stories like it, please check me out on Instagram and Substack. That's at Beck Delahoy, BeckDelahoy on Instagram, and beckdelahoy.substack.com on Substack. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed that and keep tuning in. Thanks, guys. Bye.
I hope you really enjoyed Beck's ideas. You can read more from Beck Delahoy at beckdelahoy.substack.com. I've been a really big supporter and fan of what she's been writing. I think she's doing great work and her voice is valuable. Beck's back again tomorrow on the Happy Families podcast.